Hello and welcome to How to Be an Icon. I'm Jared Jones and I'm joined by Donna Cameron. How are you doing today?
I'm great. What day did they take the bins out? Our recording got delayed a smidge because we were waiting very slowly for the bin men to leave.
We're recording on a Sunday, by the way, which is why we're bringing this up. It's I know, quite an odd one to have your bins taken out on a Sunday, but that is apparently when they do it around here.
So if you hear any background noise, we are sorry. It's not us. It's the city of Liverpool.
Yeah, its bin's been taken out.
Peak Scouts thing, though, is that they are not bin men. They're just doing that.
They just got a garbage truck and just decided to...
Yeah, there's a bunch of free stuff in there. People are just leaving it by the curb.
Yeah, rooting around, seeing what good stuff's in there.
There's always something fun.
There is always something fun.
How are you doing? I never ask you.
I'm not too bad, thank you. If you haven't already, by the way, please give us a follow on your podcast platform of choice, whether you are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever it is you get your fine audio medium content. Give us a follow, leave us a comment as well. We would really appreciate it. And a review, all of the good stuff. And also as well, you can find us on Instagram, How to Be an Icon Pod on there. Today, no one told you that life was going to be this way because Scream 7's coming out. So that's why we're talking about Courtney Cox.
Oh, he's smooth. He's so smooth, so professional. You'd never know.
You'd never know. What are your thoughts on Courtney Cox?
She is a woman who is in things that I have seen.
Yeah.
You know, like...
That's definitely a way to put it.
It's a bit unfair for her to reduce a woman's entire career to that, but it is like, she's in stuff.
She is in stuff. Like, you know, I don't... Maybe by the time that we come to the end of this episode, we'll have come to a conclusion on whether or not we do, in fact, think she is an icon. In that, like... Is she an icon or is Monica Geller an icon? Like that is, you know, it's definitely like something that you have to think about.
Friends is definitely an icon and Scream is definitely iconic, but I don't know anything about this Courtney Cox woman.
Donna, what do you think Courtney Cox's favorite drink is?
Is it some kind of coffee? She feels like a cappuccino person.
Again, I think you're just thinking of Friends. I just think you're thinking of Central Perk on that one.
Can I not assume that an adult woman could like a well-made, crafted coffee drink?
I mean, you can assume that, but you'd be incorrect.
Okay,
because she loves a well-made, crafted strawberry margarita is what she wants.
Oh, that's fun. I love a fruity marg.
Yeah, no, she has a recipe for it from her Homewares brand.
Ooh.
Yeah, but no, she has the ultimate strawberry margarita is her favorite drink.
I bet that home line is brown. I bet it's neutral.
It's black and neutral.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I had a look at it before.
How does it compare to Meghan Markle's home brand, which was incredibly boring?
It's more like home like stuff of like she does a lot of like fragrances and things like that and cleaning things. You know, it's more like home.
Okay, I get you.
That's a lot of what that is. But yeah, no, she's a strawberry marg.
That's kind of fun.
Not a go-to of mine, but I'm not against it.
What is your go-to marg?
Either Tommy's or spicy is
I love a spicy.
Yeah, no, I'll always go for a Tommy's marg though. Anyway, Courtney Cox was born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama on the 15th of June 1964 to father Richard Lewis Cox and mother Courtney Copeland. She was the youngest of 4 children, 2 older sisters, Virginia and Dorothy, and brother Richard Jr. But her parents would unfortunately divorce in 1974 when she was aged just 10. But fun fact about Courtney Cox, on an episode of Who Do You Think You Are, she found out that she was a direct descendant of William the Conqueror.
Whoa!
26th time the grandfather, and Edward the First, 20th time grandfather. So
that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Would I love to go on Where You From?
Where you from and who you from?
What you doing?
Who's your daddy and what's he
do?
What's he do? But yeah, no, William the Conqueror, direct descendant.
Fun. I think it's fun to find out on a show like that. The people who go out of their way to prove
You're
that
not here for Ancestry.com or anything like that.
I don't care that you were on the Mayflower. I don't care that you are somehow related to royalty if you've engineered that, because I weirdly suspect that most people can do that eventually.
We're all related to Genghis Khan or whatever the thing of that is, you know. She would end up going to college in Washington, D.C. At Mount Vernon College to study architecture. But she wouldn't complete the course as she wanted to become a model/actor. She seemed to have made the right choice because she got her first big break in 1984, starring in the music video for Dancing in the Dark by the Boss, Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, that's fun.
Dancing in the dark. The video was...
Love the Boss, by the way.
Oh, we all love the Boss. We've got it, you know.
It's how we knew who we were.
That's how we knew who we were. We all found ourselves born to run. But it was directed by Mission Impossible director Brian De Palma. She plays the young girl who gets picked out of the crowd and does some pretty iffy white person dancing is what I'd... Yeah, it's a lot of that.
You can't see it,
but you know it.
Like, you know white woman dancing.
Yeah. She did it for 2 days worth of filming and got paid just over $600 for it.
Good for her. For a sec, I thought she did the dance for 2 days and...
She was just dancing the whole time.
In the dark.
In the dark. I know that, like, saying that now being cast in a music video seems like, well, that's not really much of a big break. But there's quite a few examples of people getting big roles because of their roles in music videos. The most famous one being Alicia Silverstone, who was cast as Cher because she appeared in Aerosmith's music video for Crying in 1993.
Which is amazing.
And the director was like, I want her. I want the Aerosmith girl. And also being a director, like, because there's so many people back then who got their start directing music videos.
Yeah.
We've got Michael Bay directed Meatloaf's I'll Do Anything for Love. David Fincher directed Madonna's Vogue.
Amazing.
And Michel Gondry directed a lot of Bjork and the Chemical Brothers music videos as well.
Not videos I'm familiar with, but I bet they're very fun.
But yeah, after Courtney got familiar dancing in the dark with the Boss, you know, because... She managed to get her a role in the sitcom we all know and love, the sci-fi comedy series Misfits of Science from 1985.
Of course. I watch it every night when I go to sleep.
I knew nothing of this, and to be honest, it looks like if Garth Marenghi wrote and directed Saved by the Bell, is kind of the...
See, that's a great pitch for me, but... I think as a terms of a product that people want to watch, you go,
Yeah, the plot, and I'm going to be honest, I have just copied and pasted this from Wikipedia, so please, if this is incorrect, don't blame me. The series featured superpowered humans and their madcap adventures. The team is formed by Dr. Billy Hayes, a research scientist who specializes in human anomalies. He works with Dr. Elvin, L. Lincoln, and together they recruit electric-powered Johnny Belushi, a rock and roll musician, and Gloria Dinello, a telekinetic teenager. You know, it's like a real naff version of X-Men.
I was literally about to say, is this like public access X-Men?
It's a little bit like that. Courtney would play, and again, I'm getting this from Wikipedia, Gloria Dinello, the juvenile delinquent teenager with telekinetic powers, and a mother who is in a mental institution who claims that Gloria's father is from out of space. I'll do many things for this show. I'm not watching 45-minute long episodes.
Oh, 45 is too long. 25, fine.
No, 45. The pilot was an hour, and I'm like, I'm not
doing that.
It is all on YouTube if you do want to watch it, but no, I'm not watching.
It's truly fascinating, the lines that we draw on this show, because we've watched things that are worse than that.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
The Cliff Richard musical, Heathcliff.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which, by the way, I've seen you all talking about it.
A lot of people have been talking about it.
We were here first. I just want to make that very clear. If you make a Heathcliff Richard joke, know that we did it.
We did definitely.
We got timestamps on it.
But yeah, no, the show was considered an absolute bomb and was cancelled. So
what?
Not renewed for a second series.
That's really shocking.
But she would also guest star in The Love Boat and Murder, She Wrote. But this is quite a fun one.
It's fun that she's in Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah, Murder, She Wrote. But in 1985, Cox would star in a Tampax commercial. And she was the first person to use the word period to describe menstruation in an American television commercial.
What a fun fact.
Yeah.
That's so, like, unimportant. That doesn't mean anything. But you go, I'm the first woman to say period in a menstrual ad.
Yeah. So that's There you go. She would also star in 1987 in the Masters of the Universe, the He-Man movie.
Oh, yeah!
Starring alongside Dolph Lundgren and Frank Langella, which was made by our favorite 80s production company, Canon. Now, if you don't know about Canon, listen to our episode on Christopher Reeve to find out all about the making of Superman 4 and the Quest for Peace and how they made the UN look like it was in Milton Keynes.
We sing a really good song about Milton Keynes in that episode. So.
It's great. But yeah, just to catch you up for those who don't remember, Canon would get their funding by selling the distribution rights to their movie up front. So it would be like, we've got Superman 4. Here's a poster of it. That's about it. Buy the rights to it and we'll sell it to you. Which again, for small movies, that works quite well. When you're doing the He-Man movie and Superman 4 and you're having...
Doesn't quite...
And you're like doing this over like 20, 30 productions, all of a sudden $75 million doesn't go that far.
No, it's actually really easy to... It's the line from Freddy Got Fingered. It's really easy to spend $1 million.
It's really easy to spend $1 million. They spent a bunch of money on the set for Skeletor's Castle, Castle Grayskull. They spent way too much money on it. So most of the movie is set there and in California. And it's just like, it's this big, massive set. It's 2 sound stages like stuck together.
Oh, fun.
But they just spend way too long there. Another fun thing about this movie, the director hated Lundgren's voice and planned to have it dubbed over with a different actor. So they didn't really record the audio properly because they didn't think it would matter that much. But due to contractual and union rules, they weren't allowed to just re-record.
Oh, so they just have absolute dog water audio over.
They ended up having to have Dolph Lundgren ADR most of it anyway. So it was like, you saved no money and you could have just done it on the day, and
it looks worse. Because we know audiences know when voices are dubbed over most of the time.
Yeah, so it was a real mess, a real flop as well. On a budget of $22 million, it only made 18. So,
ooh, did not even cover expenses.
No, would not even cover
expenses.
Lost a lot of money, but then should get a role in a big sitcom called Family Ties from 1987 to 1989, where she played Lauren Miller, the girlfriend of Michael J. Fox's character, Alex Keaton. She wasn't full-time. She was kind of like guest star, only starred in about 18 episodes.
Okay.
But she then got another big role. And this one we did watch.
We did watch this.
Ace Ventura Pet Detective from 1994, where she plays Melissa. She does a pretty good job of seeming like she's really into Jim Carrey. And like that he's not the most annoying person that you've ever met.
What a time capsule of a film that Ace Ventura Pet Detective is. Because one, it's like peak Jim Carrey doing peak Jim Carrey stuff.
Yes.
It's a film telling us that we should believe that woman is attracted to him. And Courtney Cox deserves an Oscar for how she looks at Jim Carrey screaming and babbling and has a look on her face that goes, yeah, I do like this man.
I do like this man. I don't find him extremely obnoxious.
The end of that film, by the way, is horrendous.
I mean,
it's not funny in any way. It's actually just kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, you know when people say like it's aged like milk? I don't know what ages worse than milk.
It's aged like feces.
It's aged like Ace Ventura Pet Detective.
Yeah, we're not going to go into it. You probably know what we're talking about. It's just like, ew, don't love that. However, do you know what I do love? Dan Marino! Miami Dolphins player that they keep insisting referring to him by his full legal name. He is never just Dan. He is always Dan Marino.
It's always Dan Marino.
So you know who we're talking about.
And he does some great NFL acting. Some real sports athlete, not an actor acting.
He is on set. The Dolphin is a better actor than he is. And that Dolphin is not in it that much. I guess because Dolphins are difficult to work with.
They are difficult to work with. I will give Ace Ventura Pet Detective, the fact that, you know, obviously we don't use real animals in film anymore. And there's reasons for that, and I understand it. But I will say that it is really fun to see real animals on a real set as they are there, and there is a raccoon.
And the raccoon does things.
Some great raccoon acting, almost as good as Dan Marino.
Honestly, I'm going to say the raccoon's the best actor.
And
It puts in a better performance. No, that's unfair. Courtney Cox, then the raccoon.
Yeah, because, you know,
then Dan Marino.
Yeah. Jim Carrey, and like this is the thing of like around this time period. I understand that when you're 7, that's the funniest thing you've ever seen. As a 30-year-old man, I'm like, good Lord, can you be quiet for just... And it's the thing of, he's physically impressive. What he does is impressive in that...
Be confident and committed enough to see that through and to make that performance compelling.
And I think that's the thing of like, yes, he's obnoxious and annoying, but it's not because he's like, I can't even explain what it is of like, it's loud, it's obnoxious, it's annoying, but it's not because of his performance.
No, there is, I think it proves there is a skill to it, because
Yes.
a lot of people now will see the really unfortunate clips from an improv class that's going out online. And it's people trying to do that and trying to be wacky and loud. And you go, oh, what Jim Carrey does is actually very skillful.
Yeah.
Because he knows when to be quiet.
Yes.
And
Not in that movie he doesn't, but in better films he does. Like,
yeah. I've never seen The Mask, and I probably never will, because it's the most I will turn into my mother and go, turn this off.
I think, though, to be fair, of like the best comparison for your Jim Carrey performances is The Grinch and then The Cat in the Hat.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
If you want to see why it's like why Jim Carrey is good at what he does, even if it's not for you, even if you don't like it, you can at least watch The Grinch and then compare it to The Cat in the Hat and go, oh, I see why this is a good performance, even if I don't like it.
Yeah.
I feel a lot about that with Ace Ventura of like, it is a technically good performance.
It's a film. Do you know what? Ending aside, it's a competently written film. It's very like...
It still got laughs out of me.
It's an A to B plot. He finds the dolphin. There are some jokes in it that do really get you.
Yeah.
Also, big fan of his shirts. I would wear all of his outfits.
You would wear all of his outfits. You love a Hawaiian shirt.
I do.
But
this episode's about Courtney Cox, by the way.
It is about Courtney Cox, and we're going to get onto that because the other thing that she did in 1994 was she read for a character in a sitcom. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's so many sitcoms that she does, but this is the one. She read for the character that we all associate with Courtney Cox. We know her. We love her. She read for the part of Rachel Green.
This is crazy. It's the thing of, it's like the Mickey Mouse thing. She's always been Monica.
Yes.
So it's hard to even think about it. Not that you go, I couldn't imagine it. She's an actor. I can't imagine Rachel Green as a particularly a difficult role to stand into. Shallow rich girl. I think because we associate those characters so directly with those actors, I go, I can't imagine it in any...
Yeah, she read for Rachel, but then requested to read for Monica.
Yeah.
And the reason why she was offered Rachel first and why she read for it first is that Rachel is the main character of the sitcom. That is, you know, she is.
She starts it by running in the wedding dress. Like, she is the...
Yeah. And at this point in time, Courtney Cox is the most famous person on the cast of Friends.
Yeah, I can...
Like, she is. Like, that is the thing of it.
Some could argue that she is still the most successful one out of them, but what?
Well, she ended up reading for Monica, absolutely nailed it, and would end up starring alongside Jennifer Aniston as Rachel Green, her longtime best friend, Lisa Kudrow as Phoebe Buffay, her kooky roommate friend.
She's a masseuse and writes bad songs.
Matt LeBlanc as Joey Tribbiani, soap star and all-round sex pest.
He eats food.
He sure does.
He's Italian-American when the plot decides that he is.
Matthew Perry as Chandler Bing. Could he be any more of her husband? And
iconic.
And David Schwimmer as Ross Geller, her dork of a brother.
My sandwich?
My sandwich? So...
Strap in, guys. If you don't like Friends, this is going to be less difficult to listen to, because now that's all we're going to do.
The thing that I do think, and this is... And again, I don't know the full process of how they went about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the thought of Courtney Cox and David Schwimmer, who I think one of the best things about that show is that you go, they do look like siblings. They
look like it. They don't act like it.
They don't act like it, but they definitely look like siblings. I think it would be weird, assuming that Courtney Cox was Rachel and Jennifer Aniston was Monica. That
you spent the whole time going, are they related?
They don't look even remotely related, and this guy is trying to bang someone who looks kind of like his sister.
Great subreddit, by the way. If you have 10 minutes to kill, siblings or lovers.
Oh, siblings or lovers.
It's always amazing. It's especially exciting when it's both. I don't know if that's ever happened on there, but
I mean, I hope not. No one has ever gone for surprise. It's both. But yeah, at the time, Courtney Cox was the most famous of the principal cast. And because of that, her contract had what is called a favored nations or Fonzie deal in it, which basically means that no one is allowed to be paid more than her, because, you know, the idea being that with things like a show and stuff is that if you're the most famous person going in, you're the one who's kind of risking the most to go in there. You're going to be the thing that is going to be the draw that's going to get people in. You're the name attached to it.
You're carrying a lot of the like PR load.
Yeah. And there's quite a lot of these things happen quite a lot.
This is really common.
For example, Sex and the City, where Sarah Jessica Parker, she's the most famous person going in. She gets paid the most. However, there is a real divergent point between the two of these stories where it goes. Because Cox was very upfront about this with the rest of the cast, letting them know. When it came to season 3, where they were there to renegotiate their contracts, the cast were kind of a bit like they were when they first went in. David Schwimmer, Jennifer Aniston, and Courtney Cox were all getting paid the same. They're all getting paid the most. Because Schwimmer and Aniston are the two main characters, and Cox has this clause in her contract so that she's getting paid the most. But the rest of the cast really put forward the idea that, like, all 5 of us do the same amount of work.
They all pretty much share screen time.
We all pretty much share the screen time. And, like, yes, Aniston and Schwimmer are the main characters, but not every episode is focused solely on them.
It is more of and you see it as it starts to go on throughout the show. It becomes definitely more of an ensemble cast of all of them have plots and things of their own to do.
Yeah, and it's the thing of like other shows like The Big Bang Theory. It's like Leonard and Sheldon are the 2 main characters.
Yes, and everyone else tacks onto them.
Yeah.
Those other characters don't really have plots on their own outside of the main 2 characters, whereas
Friends,
they all have their own things going on.
So they went in, David Schwimmer put forward the idea that they go in together as a cast and negotiate together, which is known as collective bargaining. So the thing of it was that because that Courtney Cox had this favored nations clause and no one could get paid more than her, it meant that they couldn't play the cast off of one another.
Yeah.
So if they went and said, you know, let's, Jennifer Aniston goes, actually, I don't care. I want to get paid more money than the other 4. She could do that, but Courtney Cox would have the same amount of money. So she would know, well, someone's getting paid more because I'm getting paid the same as them.
Yeah.
So it ended up being a really good negotiating tool for the rest of the cast. And it's part of the reason of why they all end up getting paid ludicrous amounts of money. By the last 2 seasons in 2004, they're earning $1 million an episode.
Which is nuts.
Which made Courtney Cox and by extension Lisa Kudrow and Jennifer Aniston the highest paid female TV actresses of all time.
Oh, that's great news.
Yeah, because they all banded together. Whereas when you go with something like Sex and the City, where there's a lot of animosity between the cast because Sarah Jessica Parker is getting paid the most.
She's getting paid significantly more.
And Kim Cattrall is going, well, I'm doing just as much work. Like, yes, I'm not the main character, but...
Kim Cattrall arguably does a lot more because she is frequently naked on that show.
And, you know, and they go, well, we don't need to make the show without you, Kim Cattrall. And then you get in Just Like That and you go, there is a big Samantha-shaped hole in this show.
What do you mean? She texts all the time.
She texts all the time. She's in the back of the cab in one episode, off screen, not filmed on the same.
She buys flowers for Big's funeral, even though Carrie says no.
Yeah. So, yeah, because of Cox's favored nation clause and because they all work together to collectively bargain, they did a lot of very smart things in trying to get the most money. They would always try and renew their contracts towards the end of the season because it would mean that the writers would have to, like, write two endings because they'd be like, is this going to be a season finale or is this going to be a series finale? Like, is that... And they would also do things like start negotiating at like 10 p.m. after filming.
Okay.
So it would mean that the executives would have to go in at 10 p.m. and would be negotiating and getting tired and just doing the thing of being like, all right, fine, we'll just settle.
Just do it.
Just do it. They ended up in one season, they ended up negotiating until 3 a.m.
Wow.
Because they just didn't want to pay them all the same amount of money, but they stood their ground and held to it. And again, part of the thing of it was that it could have been very easy for a Jennifer Aniston or a David Schwimmer to be
so easy
to be like, oh no, I think I deserve more money. But
and for someone to go, yeah, we'll pay you more money.
Yeah. But again, because of Courtney Cox's deal that she had in place from day one, it meant that if that were to happen, they would all know that someone was getting paid more. So it was a very, very smart negotiating on their part. And to do it all as a cast is like, you know, it's quite rare to do. Like to be so
yeah, because it's unfair to say actors are selfish. I think people naturally are selfish. I do think it's an industry where you have to look out for yourself.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
it's designed to pit performers against each other and to go for yourself and not others. You see it in the longevity of the show. Friends runs for so long.
10 years, 1994 to 2004, it runs.
You don't do something for 10 years with people you don't like.
Yeah, no.
For that long. And like the show stays quite a consistent quality throughout. Like you can see that it is something that people want to work on.
Yes, they're having a lot of fun doing it. And they all get along very, very well.
They're all still very good friends. We've all seen the photo of them all together. And what's that on your phone?
Would you like to guess how much money they earn from syndication residuals a year?
You're going to say a number that is going to blow my mind. Go on.
It's an estimated $20 million a year. That the cast earn.
That's amazing. I think I was going to come on to this actually. Friends is fascinating to me because it's not particularly groundbreaking as a setup for a show. We've talked about so many sitcoms and so many things that run for a couple of seasons that basically have this premise to some extent.
I guess the thing is that it hit kind of at the right time.
Yeah.
They're young, living in New York. They're a bunch of friends. A lot of sitcoms around this time, especially like American sitcoms, were kind of more based around, family situations.
Exactly.
Like I say, she was in Family Ties before this, which is...
Yeah, we have they tend to be kind of, not all, but a lot more male focused. This is a very gendered, even cast.
Because I guess the other big sitcom around this time is Seinfeld.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, there's only one female in the principal cast. And whereas this is...
It's split right down the middle, and there is, as dorky as it is to say, there is something for everyone.
There is something for everyone.
You are able to hit on a lot of points and a lot of notes that everyone has. It's the staying power of Friends that blows my mind. McDonald's is currently doing an adult Happy Meal with Friends toys in it.
Yeah, exactly.
In the year of our Lord 2026.
I think because as well the characters are so relatable though. It's like, and I know it's cringe to have the thing of like, oh, these are just like my friend group. But more so than any other, I think Friends, like you say, there is even if it's not your friendship group exactly, you know, everyone's got a Chandler friend who's just like so sarcastic and dry.
You know someone who's very type A and very on top of things.
Yeah, you know someone who's very kooky and weird. And
you will put up with someone's brother.
And, you know, there is always a romance within your friendship group that you go, I don't care. Like,
guys, come on.
I have seen the story doing the rounds recently of Paul Rudd because he was there, obviously, right at the end.
Yes, he marries Phoebe.
Ends up marrying Phoebe. And he's in the last episode. And it's like a very emotional moment. They've just filmed their last scene and they're all like, you know, it's emotional. Like all the principal cast, they've been doing this for 10 years of their life. Like
they do that like big hug in the flat.
Yeah, they do all of that.
Apartment, sorry, I'm so British.
Yeah. And, you know, they're all there on stage like, crying, taking their bows and everything. And Paul Rudd is there and he goes, wow, guys, what a ride. We've been through it all, haven't we? And they were really pissed off at him, apparently.
That's so funny. Because if you're Paul Rudd, you're like, yeah, it's emotional, but it doesn't mean that much to me. Like, bye.
Yeah. And obviously, yeah, like, I can imagine if you've been doing this for 10 years and this is like a really big moment for you.
That's like the biggest thing in your life is ending and you're having to like step away from the thing that earns you $1 million an episode.
$1 million an episode and you're having to be there like, oh yeah, I'm having to walk away from this.
Look nuts at it, guys. What a ride we've been on. I can see being mad. I would unfortunately do something very similar.
I would as well. That'd absolutely be.
Guys, we've been in this since the beginning, you and I.
But yeah, Friends had a consistent viewership of 20 million viewers an episode, and the finale ended up netting 50 million viewers.
Absolutely nuts. And it just doesn't go away. It was like 7 or 8 years ago when I was living in China. It had just come over to China and people had just started watching it. And it was the weirdest experience to be like, have you heard of the show Friends? I'm like, sorry, have you heard of Friends? Yeah. Have you like seen The Sky? Yeah, I've heard of Friends. And I had people like telling me jokes for the first time. You go, oh man, you've not seen this. And it does still work almost 10 years later in a different country, in a different language.
It's funny you should bring that up because I'm going to talk about wrestling in a minute, but
what a surprise. Jared talks about wrestling.
I know. I managed to shoehorn it in. And this was not part of this, but you've really reminded me of something. Wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer,
a man who cannot finish a sentence.
Loves a good run-on sentence, does Dave Meltzer, but he's like the go-to wrestling journalist. And he talks about going to the UK for the first time, or like one of the earliest, and like 2010 he talks about it. And he says about, you know, like, man, people in the UK, like, they're just so far behind. Like, you know, a lot of like American stuff is like brand new to them. And he's talking about this in like 2010. He's talking about this. And he says he goes to London and he goes and sees like around like one of the tat stores, you know, one of the like gift shops.
Yeah.
And they've got like cardboard cutouts of the Friends characters like masks that people can wear. And he's like, they've only just got Friends over there. Like they're like obsessed with it, guys. Like they've only just got it. And it's like in 2010, it's like, no, Dave, that's because it's like so enduring in the UK.
Yeah, like it's on Channel 4 every morning. Everyone in the
T4?
UK watched it before they went to school or work because it was on every morning.
It was on every morning on T4. And now Frasier is on every morning at 6 a.m.
Maybe I hear the blues are calling. A much better sitcom. Donna's controversial opinion.
Whoa.
Frasier's the best. Jared, he's wealthy and out of touch.
He sure is wealthy and out of touch.
He prefers films with subtitles.
But in 1996, Cox wanted to play a different kind of role. She'd always been like well-natured, you know, nice character. I mean, you say that, like Monica, I think is a bit much. Like
Monica does force Phoebe to eat cookies over the sink, and Rachel does live in fear of making the apartment a mess.
Yeah. She goes and joins, even though she's a professional chef, she goes to an amateur cooking class. to prove...
It's supposed to make Joey feel better, but it's to prove a point.
Yeah, to prove a point. She makes a foil star that the teacher then has to give to her. Because after she got a bad review in the press. Like,
we were watching some of this, and it's like really daft stuff, but watching Monica work in a fake kitchen was absolutely sending me.
Oh my God, it's like such a perfect, like massive kitchen space. It's also perfect. It's not the Bear or anything like that. It's very like, and she's there and she's like, make me a salad and a calamari. Like,
who's on both of those stations at the same time?
For a sous chef, like, yeah, doing both of those things.
While he's flirting with Phoebe, and you're like, oh, do you think someone in a kitchen has time to flirt with someone and not get like a hot thing thrown at them?
Yeah. But anyway, 1996. She was sick of playing well-natured characters, and I guess Monica
as well.
I guess Monica is classed as that.
She's got a heart of gold, even though she's a bitch.
But she wanted to play a more mean-spirited character.
Mm-hmm.
So she ends up landing a role as Gale Weathers in Wes Craven's slasher movie Scream. And I think she's best as is Gale Weathers.
She's so good as Gale. I will admit, I've only seen the first Scream film. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm dying, man! It's a thing I shout all the time. She's great in it because she is awful.
She's ruthless. Like, and she's so good in that role of just being that like real no-nonsense bitch that wants to get the story and does not care. Very kind of schlocky tabloidy.
Yeah.
And she's come back in every single Scream film. She's in the newest one, which I think is, again, absolutely perfect.
She looks so good in those trailers. Even that little bit, you know that she's being nasty and pushy.
Yeah.
And
it's such a great role for her.
Because she doesn't stop smiling either. She never drops that like...
It's that like TV facade that she has throughout the entire film. And I think that while I think that Monica is the like role that she's most known for, I think she's so good as Gale.
It proves that she is a very skilled actor, that there is more going on than...
You know, it's one of those...
Than we first assume.
She, while filming Scream, met her future husband and future WCW world champion David Arquette. The two would marry in 1999, but ended up divorcing in 2013. But during Arquette's 11-day reign as WCW world champion, Courtney Cox would appear as herself on an episode of WCW Monday Nitro alongside Kurt Russell.
Oh, what a great day, Kurt Russell and Courtney Cox. And I'm like, yeah! I love both of those people.
Where David Arquette would threaten to hit him with a chair because he was trying to prove that he was a real wrestler.
And people are just like, so we've got Snake Plissken and Monica from Friends.
Yeah.
During this 11-day championship reign.
During this 11-day title reign, which is a whole thing in and of itself.
That sounds great.
And of course, that's where we end our episode on Courtney.
Because what's more iconic
what's more iconic than the WCW World Championship? Oh, wait. Oh, what? Cougar Town? Come on now. David Arquette was a world champion.
I had forgotten about Cougar Town until Jared had said it.
Yeah.
I've not seen an episode of it. I remember ads of it on Channel 4.
Yes, same. That and Ugly Betty were the two things that like I really remember like around that time of sitcom period.
So much Ugly Betty. What an absolute garbage show.
Did you like The Devil Wears Prada? Well, here's 4 seasons of it.
What if we just made all the writing worse and her less likable? She's apparently a nightmare.
Oh, we love America Ferrara for her role in Barbie.
I don't. This is a public service announcement. Donna's going to say this on every episode. I hate the Barbie movie. Love Courtney Cox, though.
Love Courtney Cox, though.
Also love Wes Craven. We'll talk about him more in the future.
Yeah, in the future, definitely. A Halloween episode for sure. But before we get into is Courtney Cox an icon, if you haven't already, please give us a follow on this podcast platform of choice, wherever it is that you're listening to it. Spotify, Apple Podcast, Podbean, you know, whichever one it is that you're listening on, please give us a follow.
Through your neighbor's wall.
Yeah,
and honestly, don't listen through the wall. Ask them what you're listening to and then just follow us.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And follow them as well. Please head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/how to be an icon. Or the link is in the description. You get access to our post show. Last week, we did our review of the Wuthering Heights movie.
I liked it more than the Barbie movie, but that's not saying very much.
That's really not saying that. Emerald Fennell directed one and was in the other, so. But yeah, you also get access to our post show, which will be coming up after this show. But Donna, is Courtney Cox an icon? I've really toiled back and forth on this one.
So, if you'd asked me at the beginning of the episode, I probably would have said no.
Okay.
I would have made her go sit with Dan Aykroyd and Katy Perry, but icons are big and small. I think she is, by connection to Friends, which is one of the most well-known sitcoms globally.
Yes.
I can't say that she's not.
Yeah.
She has the thing of a lot of people will recognize her from that alone.
Yeah.
And that immediate, oh, it's her, it's Monica.
Yeah.
That character thing is really, really important into becoming an icon.
Yes, I think so.
And I think also the role she plays in Scream. Scream is, again, super iconic horror film. The reason we have those masks, all of that. She's not the biggest icon we're ever going to cover, but little icons are great as well.
I think so. I think the thing that I would say, and I think
small screen icon, that's my...
I would go with, and you can go with me on this.
Okay.
To be an icon of the Friends cast, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a second iconic role or a lot of other stuff. So, Jennifer Aniston, bit in everything. Absolute icon.
Yeah, she's...
David Schwimmer, again, 100%. He's been in a bunch of stuff.
He was the giraffe in Madagascar.
He was the giraffe in Madagascar. And he does a lot of producer.
Yeah, he's a director and stuff.
Executive producer. Courtney Cox, she's got Gail Weathers, second big iconic role.
Lisa Kudrow is in our favorite film of all time.
She is in our favorite film of all time, Romeo and Michelle's High School Reunion. Matt LeBlanc, it's sort of borderline where...
Jared, they tried to make Joey. Do you remember watching Joey?
Oh
the Friends spinoff only about Joey, and you're like, oh, this character's awful without all of the others.
But yeah, do you know what? I really didn't know going into this whether or not I thought Courtney Cox is an icon, but I have kind of, I did know what I wanted to say of my advice for her, and I think I kind of have to smush that in together. She is an icon, and the reason why I'm going to say yes is because without her, Friends doesn't get made, first of all, because you need that big star attached to it, which is the first thing. But the amount of times that when it came to contract negotiations, that they were going to be like, we don't know whether this is going to be the end of the show altogether or whether we're going to do a next season because we don't know whether the cast are going to be able to come to, negotiating with that. Without her using what she had with the Fonzie deal, without that, the show doesn't carry on. The cast could quite easily have splintered and split off and become, there could have been quite a lot of animosity between the cast.
It's very good PR for them that the Friends are in fact friends.
The friends that are in fact friends, and that the fact that they're all getting paid equal amounts. Without her doing that and letting the cast know, because the other thing is that she could have
very easily
been like, oh yeah, no, you were all getting paid the same, and then being like, well, actually, you're paying me the most because contractually you have to pay me the most. So without that, without them all coming together, and without that part of it, you wouldn't have Friends, which is iconic in and of itself.
But the work that the time and the work and the thought that she had is what makes it. No, that's a very good point.
Because my advice for how to be an icon, what you can learn from Courtney Cox, was going to be elevating the people around you is really important,
Yeah. I get this wrong every time. What is this phrase? A rising tide helps all boats.
That's correct. Rising tide.
I'm always like, sinking boats love tides. I cannot say it right ever.
Yeah. A rising tide helps all ships is the thing, So it's, and I think that's absolutely it, because without that, you wouldn't have you wouldn't have Friends and you wouldn't have these characters. And at the end of the day as well, we say that she's not done like loads of different acting. She's done production work. Like I say, she has got her own home line.
She does many things.
She does many things.
She dates wrestlers.
Yeah, world champions, Donna. David Arquette, please.
Not Patricia.
Not Patricia Arquette. She did not win the WCW world title.
She just won our hearts.
But yeah, exactly. I can't wait for the wrestling Arquette Royal Rumble where all the Arquettes are there. David, Patricia, Will. That's Arnett, not Arquette.
Oh no!
You know what? We can throw him in.
We can throw him in because there's not many. It was the thing of as soon as I said it, I went, that's not his name, is it?
Look, our show is known for getting the Arquettes wrong.
Not to be used as a factual reference.
Exactly.
Comedy podcast.
But you're earning $20 million a year for a show you did 15 years ago.
I don't earn money for things I've done recently.
So, maybe I probably wouldn't be that arsed about acting. Maybe I can get to be a bit picky choosy and go, do you know what? Yeah, I'll be in the next Scream movie because I want to be in it.
That was going to be mine, of looking at your career and actually going, what is it I actually want to do? Because making that much money is great, but if you're unhappy, the money doesn't really mean that much.
Yeah.
It must be nice. It's a nice problem to have. But
it's a very nice problem to have. $20 million a year. I'd take that problem.
But I guess at that point, if you're still unfulfilled, the number could be anything and it doesn't really...
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But
I think knowing what your strengths are and what you want to do is also, again, to go in and go, no, I want to read for Monica.
Yeah.
No, I want to go for these parts.
Yeah.
Having, I think, being confident, not just like in terms of performance, but like professionally.
Yeah.
Being confident enough to take those changes, to go and negotiate your contract, to be in a Bruce Springsteen video.
I think, no, I 100% agree. Oh, that was a very wonderful little episode that we did there.
This was fun. I didn't know that much about her.
Well, that's what we're here for. And if you have enjoyed this, please leave us a comment down below. What's your favorite episode of Friends?
Come on. Like, we'll come back to this in a bonus episode and chat about them a bit more, I think. But
yeah,
it's the thing about Friends, and I've never really ascribed to the comfort show thing.
Yeah.
I have comfort podcasts that I listen to obsessively instead. And this should be your comfort podcast. This should be yours. Podcast.
Yeah, please. You should put this on before you go to bed and, just let it and
just
listen
let the stream play.
Yeah, just the whole time. Not because we want to get our numbers up. No, because we want to be by your side. That's what it is.
And I do it for another podcast, and honestly, I need someone to start doing it for me.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, leave us a comment down below. What's your favorite episode of Friends? And if you haven't already, like I say, please give us a subscribe wherever you are listening to this wonderful podcast, and head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/howtobeanicon. We're going to be talking all about Friends. We're going to go through and we're going to definitively rank who is the best friend in Friends.
Oh,
we're gonna
in terms of vibes or in terms of like...
We're going to have to come up with the criteria, a matrix for what we think the best friend is, but there's only going to be one. I'm not going to accept this like, oh, they're all equal.
No, they're not, because Ross is objectively the worst one.
Yeah, we're gonna rank them best to worst. There's no middle ground. We're not going to have no ties. You're going to have to find out. Patreon.com/howtobeanicon to find out who is definitively the best friend from Friends. But, Donna, you're my best friend.
And you're my best friend.
And do you know what?
Oh,
that's iconic.
We just shook hands.
Because that's iconic in and of itself.
Friendship is iconic.
But yeah.
Ugh.
No, cut that.
No, you can keep that in. Just
that's so wet. Anyway.
Friendship home safe, everyone.
Home safe, everybody.
Could I be any more podcast?
Good.